is the message you want all Americans, not just Black Americans, Americans to take away from this year's recognizing of Martin Luther King?
So it's a very simple message. United, we will stand and survive. Divided, we will fail. We will fall and fail. So it is. You can be united and disagree. You know, human beings are not monolithic. So there's diversity, but you can't. If you're destructive and disruptive, as I said, it's not sustainable. And we have to look down the road a ways, not just right this moment, because we're in the moment right now, which is also a human quality. But we have to look and build beyond, and then we have to have a strategic plan, a strategic focus if we're going to bring about change. It's not just about, none of us are here ourselves, so it can't just be about me and my child or children. It has to be about us. How do we create a better us for our nation and the world? And the world is looking at us for leadership. I'm not saying that we are providing an appropriate model at this particular moment. When you see there's something dramatically wrong in a nation that is 300 plus million people and has so many homicides and suicides. There's killing. What is wrong? I mean, there are other nations in the world that have just a few homicides a year. How are they able to do that? These are Western nations. What is it that's wrong with it? And if we don't acknowledge there's a problem, you know, we're obsessed with guns. There are other nations who have guns too, but they're not using them to kill themselves. We are programming and propagating and promoting something that is causing decay and destruction. What we bring to the table is, you know, we talk about love, we talk about forgiveness, we talk about lifting each other up. And people have to hear and see themselves in that more and more. Where I have a great hope is I think there are a lot of young people on the horizon. We don't know their names yet, but that is what they are. They're engaged. I mean, there were movements that came along, and my father used to say that every time we make a modicum of progress, there's always resistance. In 1963, March on Washington, there were 250,000 people here in Washington, and it was a march for jobs and freedom. Everybody felt good because you had different ethnic groups, you had different religious leaders from all, you know, from the Jewish community, from the Christian community, from, you know, even there were people who were agnostic and maybe even atheists, but they came because they felt a sense of freedom. My point is, less than 3 weeks after that march, you had the Birmingham 16th Street Baptist Church bombed. So every time there are strides, there's always pushback. You know, George Floyd created a shift momentarily in our nation for about a year. And then all of a sudden pushback started coming. And so we have to expect that. But you have to stay on the battlefield to know that change is inevitable. And although, as you said, it may look like we're losing terribly right now. One day we'll look at this as a snapshot in history and say we became a better nation because we continued to stay and fight for that which is good, just, and right. But that climate has to be created. It doesn't happen on its own.
Well, maybe one of those young folks you were talking about is known by the name of Yolanda. But I want to thank both of you so much for coming and talking with me today, especially getting right off of the flight and coming over here to our little studio. So thank you both so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.